Hello and welcome to the first international radio encounter for the year 2022, which is in Sri Lanka. This year, we are directing our attention on the theme engaging the youth for a dynamic radio, uniting Asia and the world. With COVID happening all around the world, physical participation is quite limited, but in Sri Lanka, we have 7 international delegates joining us, along with 7 local delegates as well. So altogether we have 14 delegates joining us in this conference today. So this forum provides an international opportunity for radio experts and the youth to exchange ideas for professional development and to come up with the best possible practices in sustaining radio. So today, I have the opportunity to have a wonderful discussion with a prominent media personality, Mr. Bernard Canaberal, President, SIGNIS, Philippines. Thank you, sir, for taking your time to talk to us today. My first question for you, as the president of SIGNIS, Philippines, there are people who are not actually participating in SIGNIS actively. So how do you plan on reaching out and completing the goals of and missions of SIGNIS to those of them who are not actually in the organization?
With the help of the social media, we'll be able to reach out to them, especially to the young people and those who are also engaged in the media, because this has to involve everybody, especially those people doing church media. So actually, we will have something by July as an invitation to many to join us in SIGNIS Philippines. SIGNIS is not very popular, to be honest about it. Anywhere you go, and in fact, when you would apply for visa, and they would ask who is SIGNIS, this is a common reality in all SIGNIS members, not just the Philippines. So the thing is, we have to bring about a kind of identity for SIGNIS, for people to know what and who is SIGNIS, and this is the World Catholic Association for Communication. Has long been in existence since 2001, and since OCIC, Office Catholique International du Cinema, and UNDA. But you see, it's very hard to penetrate the commercial or the mainstream media when you are in this kind of religious organization. It's always something I just do not know the X reason why. But we're trying our best to put this across. I worked first in the commercial mainstream media, and then when I found out the pillars of SIGNIS on human dignity, justice, and peace, and reconciliation, you couldn't be wrong with that. But, some people just don't bite. Why? All those coming from the mainstream, of course, they work because, one, there's popularity, celebrity status, there's money, there's influence, there's power. With the church, you have to obey the bishops. So these are things happening, and people come, people leave. People come, people go, and sometimes we have so many, and sometimes we don't have much, especially when funding was cut in the Philippines. Yes, that is one big issue confronting SIGNIS right now, funding. And I'd like to stress that SIGNIS is not a funding agency. It is not. But when people would apply for funding, they thought at the back of their mind, it's a funding agency. It is not. They handle the money from propaganda fide. They're the conduit. So what happened in the Philippines when we were cut from the funding, a lot of the members retreated. So we're trying to revive this activity, and we're trying to put this across that SIGNIS is very much alive.
Thank you very much, sir. And my second question for you, and as earlier we were speaking, social media and global trends, modern trends are actually taking over the world. And the media sector is constantly changing. Every day you wake up with a new advancement in your mobile phone, on your laptop. There's a new update every single day. So can I have your views on how we can sustain the radio sector amidst global trends taking over?
You know, radio will always stay. When the internet came in the 70s, we broadcaster, at the time, I was with a commercial radio, and immediately we are worried that we will be replaced by the technology, and therefore radio will be gone. But we found other opportunities like the radio, audio, digital radio. So we found ourselves in this radio, digital audio, and we can operate on this level. Later on, when the internet in 2000, podcasting developed, so many people started jumping to the podcasting application or technology, you may say. But the thing is, it changed the landscape of professional broadcasting. Because on radio, before you can even become an announcer, you have to have the certificate, the ID, and have to pass the test given by the organization. Not just anybody could hold a microphone and talk. And therefore, we are screened. You have to be a cut above the rest. You see what I'm saying? And now, anybody can just be a user and doer, or what we call prosumers, producers and consumers. But this is an opening. I don't know what's going to happen next, but a lot of these people are into the social media, into podcasting, into audio files, into audio blogs, and it's changing the landscape of the broadcast industry. And this would matter to me because there will be no more control of the information or misinformation or whatever over-information, or we would have something like alternate truth, alternative facts. These things are coming into view right now. Unlike before, if you are a respected broadcaster, they listen to you because you do your research, you do everything before you could say anything, yes? Hopefully, we can do something about this and really professionalize the thing coming in the social media. But as an old man already with white hair, here I am trying to share the experiences, the challenges faced by me when I was a young broadcaster, struggling and fledgling, and found my way in SIGNIS that gave me an impetus to understand better what is Christian communicator.
Thank you, sir. And I personally think journalists and media personalities have the power to make or break society. So how can we, as journalists, be a beacon of light to the people and promote goodness and integrity throughout the world?
That is a very good question, just like in the beauty contest, I must say. How can we? But you see, once you have developed the trust of the people, and not only the trust, but also their giving you that credibility, then you have it. Then you have it. Because right now, with so many people trying to catch the attention of the public, of the consumers, they will do anything to grab your 3 seconds attention, as in TikTok. You have to grab it in 3 seconds because the attention span is now 8 seconds, unlike before 7 minutes. So there's a lot of competition. But once you have made yourself credible, trustworthy, sincere, honest, and you protect what you believe in, you can make the change. The reason why I still stick with SIGNIS is because I believe in what the SIGNIS is saying, sign, be the sign. Ignis, be the fire. So be the fire, be the sign, be SIGNIS.
And I'm sure you agree that if we work together, we can move mountains. So, and the youth, talking about the youth, they play an integral part in society. So how do you plan on attracting more youth participation, and what is your message to the youth listening and watching us today?
We cannot just move mountains, we can split the sea and run through the sea, right? But you see, I've worked so much with the youth, actually. I have a little program in the Philippines. My audience are children. These children are now priests, sisters, non-religious because of the program, an influence I've done with them, and I'm happy. And it continues because sometimes they would approach me. A mother or a father would tell me, hey, you know what, when I was a young boy, I was listening to you. Now I'm a father, and my son and daughters are listening to you, watching you. Isn't that good? And I feel good about it, because that passing on of the credibility and the trust is now given to the children. Now I have to be very careful when I go to the media or face the television or in public. I have to discipline myself. Credibility counts, trust counts, and especially the name counts. And that is very, very important for me, which we have to preserve, because my name is from my name of my father and grandfather, and it will be alive for as long as we keep the name with honor and dignity.
Thank you, sir, for these very enlightening and educative words to everyone listening and watching us today, and I wish you all the very best. And that was Mr. Bernard Canaberal, President, SIGNIS Philippines, talking to us from the first international radio encounter for the year 2022 in Sri Lanka. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you.